10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Quiz appearing in this corner over here. Yes, over there with the large hairdos. Yes, fierceness is always welcome. These are role models. Step to the right. You gentlemen, please. You to the right, not to the left. You're right. Our context does not include any of the following. Those aren't pants. That's a newspaper. We want layering. Spilled milk on the face will not be considered makeup this evening. We want the mustache, perhaps. However, slop like that, leave it for your grunge fest. Step to your right. We want you, darling. You're giving us Monica Lewinsky. Forefront and outright, darling. You've got the chocha, you got the tits, darling. It's all fake. You're giving us Springer Hermaphrodite. You're in. Go.
Why, hello, happy Monday, everybody. How are we doing today? Thank you for joining us today here on Sass and Science. If everybody could just send a comment saying that they can hear me, that would be fantastic. That would be wonderful. I would be ever so grateful because, sometimes the good old interwebs, they like to not be so kind to us older folks that don't understand how to use these things today. Sorry, just had to get a little sip of my water. We don't condone drinking and going live. Hello, Brad Ethan. How are you today? I am doing wonderful. I hope you are doing fantastic as well. I'm going to start this off with everybody here in Florida. If you are watching, if you are listening, and actually in the United States of America, the world, let's just say the world. Do me a favor. Wear a mask. Wear a mask. It's not hard. I officially know 10 people that have contracted COVID-19, and a lot of them are going through some major issues with it. So please, if you could just wear a mask, wash your hands, social distance, the quicker we do this, the quicker we can get over this. And especially here in Florida with our rising cases, you need to be damn sure that you're wearing a mask because I will find you. Hello, Michelle Bonewoods. How are you doing today? Hello, Thomas Athan Jr. How are you doing today? So now that I've gotten off my soapbox of discussing about wearing a mask, washing your hands, and social distancing, we today are going to talk about life is a drag. I've got to say this. Drag goes back so far. Drag goes back before we can even realize it. Back in the 1800s, this was actually a statement that was made. A woman acting in a public playhouse would have offended not only on religious grounds, but also be seen as shocking behavior. So we have to remember that drag goes back further than RuPaul's Drag Race. Drag goes back further than Stonewall. Drag goes back further than we can ever think. It goes back to like the Shakespearean days. Honestly, like that comment had said, a woman reading alone, that alone was like just wrong. It was against the law. It was against religious beliefs. So having a woman playing in a play, in a playhouse, obviously she would have had to have read the script. So not only would she have been breaking the law via the law or religious reasons, whatever, excuse me, it just would not have been found to be welcoming. So drag goes back way further than we can even imagine. And the ancient Greece and Roman, you are 100% correct, Thomas. I mean, it goes way back. And so what we're talking about today is we're talking about all different forms of drag, and then we're also going to be bringing on this glamorous, stunning, I'll never forget the first time we met. She was just sitting over there in the pew at Enigma in St. Pete. And I walked by her, and there was this shining light that was like a halo hovering over her. And she was like, and I was like, huh? And I walked over, I was like, hi, I'm Bearonce Bear. She's like, hi, I'm Crystal Michaels. And she's like, your highlight is everything. I was like, oh, well, thank you, you know. But when I bring her on, you're going to meet her. She's gorgeous. She's amazing. She's stunning. But we're just going to go over just a couple of things, because I feel that there's so many artists out there and forms of drag that people just don't get. They just don't understand it. They think today that everybody has to look a certain way. They have to conform to what social media, they have to conform to what television series are telling us to do. And we are sitting here in an age of everybody's welcome, and everybody needs to welcome each other, because drag is art and art is drag. So with that being said, we're going to go to the first one. We're going to go there's two that I feel that two forms of drag that don't get enough love, that they don't get enough respect in our industry and our social forums. And I'm going to start with one, and I'm going to end with one, and then everything in between is what we kind of already know. Excuse me. But I want to start with the first one and end with the last one of the two that do not get enough recognition. And the first one are faux queens. The term faux queens or bio queens or AFAB queens, there's all different wording today, is used to describe a drag queen that is a biological female. These days, the term is used very loosely because it can have two separate meanings that might vary depending on where you live. I have also heard a faux queen being referred to as a gender fuck queen. There is a gorgeous, I did all the research and went and stalked people's pages and things like that, but there's this beautiful bio queen, AFAB queen, faux queen, Courtney Conquers. Courtney Conquers gave a quote and said, why is it that when straight/passing men do drag, many queer people applaud them as being open-minded and interesting, but when a straight/passing woman does drag, people roll their eyes and talk about them in queer spaces and generalize them as the problematic straight girl. That is from her Twitter, Courtney Conquers. And honestly, I look at her and I'm like, bitch, you are stunning. You are everything. This is amazing what I'm seeing here. You know, but she's true. It's why is it that we have this belief that drag is only one sort of way? The next form of drag that I am going to talk about is androgyny or gender fuck. This type of drag is also known as an anti-queen, using a combination of masculine and feminine characteristics. These queens tend to be very artistic with constant blurs of gender boundaries. They are sexually ambiguous with fashion, gender identity, sexual identity, and or sexual lifestyle. One that we all know, Miss Sasha Velour. This bitch right here, hello, she gave me rose petals. She gave me a dozen roses that day that she dropped that out of her wig. And she even states, drag is literally so ancient that it predates a modern understanding of gender, of transness, of queerness. Drag predates modern ideas of gender, of theater at all. Drag predates the word drag itself. Okay, Miss Sasha. She is spilling tea for the children. Love that quote. There's another one that, and I think this is the only category that has two representatives that I'm showing, is this little old one right here. I have no clue who she is. Bearonce Bear. And one thing that I always say is, why should I conform to your comfort when you won't conform to my comfort? Let that sink in. Like, why, honestly, when I started drag, why was it that I had to conform to somebody's way that I wanted to express my art when they didn't want to conform to how I was envisioning my art, you know? A girl, she's getting warm again, so she's just gonna undo them tits and just let them rock out. So our next one is, and I'm gonna use a term that probably people are probably gonna read for filth again, but we also have what they call the fishy queen, or they have the gender illusionist, female impressionist. You know, there's so many wording out there, so I like to make sure that if there's different types of words that I use it to where everybody else, you know, everybody can understand. But this type of queen takes pride in looking like an authentic woman. They want to look as close to the real thing as possible. Coming beat to the gods and patted down, serving body, these ladies give you real day at a day of whoa. They are known for being very polished, and they take their drag very seriously, sometimes throwing shade at other types of drag that they don't represent. But there's one entertainer out there that I absolutely love, and that's Courtney Act. I'm sorry, but you can look at Courtney and you're like, girl, I don't know. I can't know. And what she says is, she says, I sort of throw away the definitions of gender, that boys are supposed to wear blue and girls are supposed to wear pink, and those gender roles and gender presentations. I do it on my own terms rather than based on what the other people say I should do. That is a quote from Courtney Act, which I absolutely love that quote. You know, I find that so interesting that, you know, for baby showers and things of that nature, that the first thing is like, oh, we're gonna get her a cute little pink bow tie. What if the bitch shows up and she don't want pink? What if she doesn't want to wear pink? Or, you know, oh, I'm gonna put him in some cute overalls. What if you don't want to wear overalls? What if he wants to wear a dress? Why does it matter? Why does it matter, right? So then we have the legendary club kids, or the club scene, or the club queens. A club queen is a queen that either comes from the 1980s/1990s New York City club kid scene, or has drawn inspiration for their drag persona from there. They are known for slaying drag balls, which, bitches, let me tell you right now, if you've never been to a ball, or if you've never watched a ball, you need to make sure that you do. You need to make sure that you go, because there is a lot of knowledge that comes from the balls, honey. There's a lot of our history that comes from the balls. And I'm not talking about the balls that you like to have teabagged on your mouth. I'm talking about the voguing. I'm talking about the legendary balls. I'm talking about the house down boots balls. Yes, ma'am. They are known for slaying drag balls with fierce yet sometimes outrageous fashion and unique makeup techniques. This one entertainer that I love, also a RuPaul's Drag Race entertainer, Vivacious. Vivacious is, you know, she's one of the original 90s New York club kids. She considers her drag to be living art. Well known in the New York City straight club scene, she considers herself an ambassador of drag. She is known for her memorable quotes as "Mother has arrived" and her iconic headpiece, Ornacia. You know, so I mean, there are so many different forms of drag out there. And like, honestly, I want everybody to go ahead and do me a favor. Comment right now. And there's nothing wrong if you do or if you don't know. But comment out of the past, what was it? 1, 2, 3, 4 forms of drag that I have represented and talked about so far. Did you know about these 4 types? Did you know about them? Just go ahead and comment. I'm going to keep going. Our next is the Goth Queens. Dragula, the Boulet Brothers. Okay? They are now streaming, well, they have been on Netflix for the past 2 seasons, I believe. But, you know, the goth drag, or Dragula, a goth queen is exactly how it sounds. Dark and gloomy, this type of queen thrives off of creating looks inspired by classic goth or horror films. You won't see an eclectic group of colors in this queen's closet. It's usually all black. Most tend to do a white face and very dark themed makeup stylings. The creators are dragless, and their famous tagline is, we are not here to judge your drag. Drag is art and art is subjective. What we are judging you is your drag as it relates to the competition. So, that just right there. I love their forward way of thinking. Hello, John Capo. How are you? If you are not listening to the Orlando Happy Hour podcast, John and his team, they do a weekly series called the Happy Hour, the Homo Happy Hour podcast. It's a wonderful, wonderful podcast. It's fun, and they spill some tea, honey. You come here for sass and science, they throw some shades. But no, I love John and his team. So then we have our pageant queens. Our pageant queen is a queen that thrives in the heat of competition by taking drag to its extreme seriousness. These ladies invest, and I say ladies, invest everything, literally thousands of dollars to compete in competitions where only one lands on top. These beautiful ladies take fish, and this is from a magazine that I'm grabbing this from, a gay magazine. So I'm just reading this. This isn't what I typed up. To a whole new level, because they are judged on every tiny detail. They keep their drag on point and are extremely polished. They exceed in the dimension of elegance and fashion, employing elaborate jewelry and gowns to snatch the crown. One of these pageant queens that immediately comes to my mind, especially here in Orlando, Florida, is Miss Darcel Stevens. Miss Darcel Stevens is Miss Continental Plus 2018, I believe it is. And what I love about her is she takes her drag to a whole new level. She takes it not only just drag, but she takes it on an activism part. And she says in a quote in an interview that she had, not with me, but with a magazine, my mission and ministry is to inspire and empower people, to let them know that there's hope and that they're better than what they think they think they are. She says, young people grew up in a whole different era with rights, and there was a time when we got to enjoy them without thinking. But I think what woke everyone up was this past election. We were smooth sailing until this person who is a racist and a bigot was elected. Now it's time for people not to be complacent. So Darcel Stevens is a huge activist for rights for everybody, which we all should be. So you gotta love Darcel, but she is a pageant queen. And then we have our trans drag, or our trans queens. A trans drag queen is a queen that still performs as a drag queen, although she has begun a gender transformation from male to female, or female to male. Although not all of these queens fully transition, many begin taking transitional steps to further their female look, including breast implants and growing out their facial hair. So one person that I can definitely say that we all have seen her is Jazelle Barbie Royale. And if you've never seen her, you're missing out, because Jazelle is gorgeous. She won, I know I'm going to get the title wrong, but it was like Miss International 2020, or 2019. 2019. It was like Miss International Trans, or Miss International. If somebody knows the correct title, please let me know. And she's just a beautiful person. And she says, I want to be able to represent trans equality around the world. I want to be able to educate our allies or people that don't like us or understand us. I want them to see that we are beautiful, that we are educated, that we are talented, and we can maneuver in society just like anyone else. And that's 100% true. 100% true. Like I said, there are all different forms of drag out there, and they are all meant for different reasons. We have our camp drags. Our camp drag queens employ a drag aesthetic based on clown-like values such as exaggeration, satire, and ribaldry. Girl, I can't spell or read sometimes, so ribaldry. Ribaldry, however the hell you spell that or pronounce that. These queens are sometimes known for being brutally honest, exhibiting insult comic-like techniques. Camp is not just a style, it's a lifestyle. These queens tend to be humorous in their everyday lives, which might explain their comedic delivery is so flawless. One person that we have seen is on Camp on a Kiki, and that's Miss TORA HIMAN. She says, camp drag doesn't always mean silly, funny, or crafty. Camp is larger than life, taking drag to a higher level. You know, that is definitely one thing that I will definitely say. I love the camp queens because they're just fun. They make me laugh. They just absolutely make me laugh. She has her own day in Orlando too. Who has her own day? Are you talking about Jazelle? Is that what you mean? She has her own day in Orlando too? John, is that what you mean? And I'm almost done. I promise. I swear to God. And then we're gonna go. And then we're gonna go talking some tea. Then we have a fluid queen. A fluid queen is one who does not stick to one type of drag. Rather, they use many influences that create a melting pot of techniques and styles to create their look or persona. These queens tend to be very versatile in performance style. One of those would be Paige Turner. She is a fully booked queen, again from New York. She is referred to so many people, and she is entertained for celebrities. She is entertained, but she has all different styles. So she just stays fluid. She has an array of experiences, an array of talents underneath her belt that she's able to pull out when she needs that, or stick in, if you guess, you know. Then we have a Tranimal, aka terrorist drag. A Tranimal drag deconstructs fashion and makeup, often using found objects, elements of surrealism, and mixes of performance art, punk rock, racial and social issues. These drag queens often purposely use unkept wigs and clothing. Most still hide male attributes, but don't necessarily shave or tuck, creating a constant push and pull between the genders. So I never heard about Tranimals. Like I never heard about them. I never. Has anyone else heard of that term? Because I thought that it was extremely interesting when I was reading about it. And one person that we could talk about is Austin Young, you know, and I think this also has a touch of club kid for me. And I'm living for it. I'm living completely. It's like taking fashion and just bulldozing it through that fashion, honey. I'm here for every single bit of this. I'm here for every single bit of that. I just live for it. And one thing that Austin says is it's so easy to get lost and lose sense of yourself within the omnivorous social networking web. I try to wake up every day feeling grateful to be here. I try to look within myself for inspiration. If I look around too much and think about what other people are doing or what they may like, I can start to feel like there is no place for me. The voice of my insecurities and doubts can take over. You know, and I've experienced that myself. You know, doing bearded drag was such a huge leap 9 years ago in Central Florida. You know, Florida is a pageant state. It's a beauty pageant state. And when I started doing drag 9 years ago with a beard, the boundaries that I had to leap to get to where I am today, and you know, nowhere. I'm not saying I'm anywhere near as successful as some of these other entertainers, but the leaps and bounds that I had to go and the push that I had to push back from, ridiculous. Because again, why did I have to conform to their comfort when they weren't comfortable conforming to my comfort? You know what I mean? So we have 2 more, and then we're going to bring on our lovely, lovely guest speaker, an active vessel. A active vessel is a queen or a group of queens with a unifying identity and shtick, usually in order to perform a charitable or activist function in their communities. Many perform to raise funds for other charities. Many may or may not be of the LGBTQ plus related, and some even protest for LGBTQ plus and civil rights. The well most known group among this style of drag are the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, which have local chapters all over. If you've ever met a Sister of Perpetual Indulgence, you will know that they are some of the most amazing people that you will ever meet in your life, and they do not get the praises that they deserve. Some of the groups within the drag styles, such as the Sisters, perform a quasi-spiritual function or an act of social counselors, consciously reviving the ancient archetype of historical drag queens as shamans and spiritual functionaries. The common practice and aesthetic is flamboyancy in service. The number one pictured photographed queen ever is Sister Roma. Sister Roma is the number one photographed queen ever. And she quoted in an interview that I found online, be yourself, accept yourself, love yourself, live your life however you want, and don't listen to what other people are saying or what other people say or think, especially drag queens in a newspaper interview, for God's sake. So she basically said you don't listen to her, and that's what I love about it. So the last style of drag, and I'm sure that there's others out there that I may have missed, and if I have, I apologize to anybody out there if they are in that representation of a type of drag that I've missed. But one that I feel that does not get enough representation, just like the first one I spoke about, which were your faux or your bio or your AFAB queens, are drag kings. Drag kings do not get the acknowledgement that they should. They are mostly female performance artists who dress in masculine drag and personify male gender stereotypes as part of an individual or group routine. A typical drag show may incorporate dancing, acting, stand-up comedy, and singing, either live or lip-syncing to pre-recorded tracks. Drag kings often perform as exaggerating macho male characters, portray marginalized masculinities such as construction workers, rappers, and or they'll impersonate male celebrities. There's one awesome drag king that I found online that I just absolutely loved when I saw him, because he breaks boundaries of what I just read, and that is going to be Adam All. Adam All breaks the boundary of what we think the typical drag king looks like or representation. And what Adam says is, as a drag king, I try and portray a man completely vivid of toxic masculinity. Bitch, let that sit for a minute. Let that sit for a minute. Come through. Because that's one thing that I hate. I hate that we're raised today in this, guys have to do this and girls have to do this. Why? So let's see. We have a comment here. Seeing more in European drag. Yes. Europe is very artistic, and their drag is very artistic. And one thing that I love about drag entertainers that are overseas is most of them have to live sing, or they have to have like an actual talent. And I'm not saying lip syncing isn't a talent. Lip syncing is definitely a talent, because God knows if I'm doing a song with my 41-year-old brain, I cannot remember half the shit that I have to say. So especially now with the whole shutdown and stuff like that, the digital performances that I've done, I seriously have to sit here and be like, oh my God, I need to remember these words before I can just say thank you to the person that I'm getting tipped by. And be like, oh shit, I don't remember those lines. Now I gotta know them, because the bitch will get clocked. John Cabo, Boris to Death is hilarious and very talented too. He was on Camp Wanakiki with TORA. Yes, Boris to Death was fantastic. And congratulations on Boris on losing all that weight. He looks fantastic. KK says, Linda Sider stole my heart, and so many others have as well. Linda Sider, bitch from Dragula. Every single look that Landon brought was stunning, sickening. And I think that that's a reason why that he did that, was because drag kings don't get the recognition that drag queens do. And bio, faux, AFAB queens don't get the recognition that your typical drag queen does. Even bearded queens, we sure as hell don't get the recognition that we're starting to. started very, very little, you know, but it's this portrayal that of what we see on television. So I'm gonna bring on our beautiful guest, because I could see her talk about this all day, every day. She is a heart of gold, fantastic person, very, very talented. I'm gonna have her tell you a little bit about herself. Ladies and gentlemen, and everybody in between, please welcome Crystal. Hello, Crystal.
Over? Are we free? Are we free? Is that really you? That's really you?
It's me.
I'm scared. Can I take it off? Can I get it through the eyes? I really like getting it in the eyes, if you know what I mean. It burns.
It burns.
Maybe it'll help this plastic surgery I paid $80,000 for and came out looking like Quasimodo. So,
but tell me this: did Esmeralda bring you the water, honey?
Honey, no, she fell in the well with Timmy.
Wait, who was the little bitch that fell in the well back then? Jessica, baby Jessica.
I always think of like the lotion goes in the basket, you know, Clary. I don't know, it just freaks me out. And like I had these friends in Fire Island. Actually, they were in Long Island, in Setauket. To all my Setauket fans out there, friends of mine, they beautiful, beautiful, like palatial pool area. Well, they built a 6-foot dungeon room below the basement, like 6 feet down. And I will never forget this, as we put my friend Michael Leelahan up there, who owns Breedwell, the LED harness thing. I'm giving props to people that I don't even talk to anymore because we don't like each other. But I'll do it anyway, because, you know, everybody needs a coin thrown their way every once in a while.
Exactly, especially in today's world.
But I never, in today's world, honey, you can cash app me. I don't even know it, but send it to my sister, Miranda Sugarbaker. Send it out to Bearonce Bear. Send it out to Ryan Barry. You know, send it out. I'm sitting here on Social Security. And it's working pretty well.
You're such a bitch. I love you. I mean, if I could get everybody to look down at the bottom of their phones, if they could hit that little red heart right there several times, boom, 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 boom. Then slide next to it and hit share, and share it to your page, share it to your group, share it to your friends, share it to your mamma, share it to whoever. The more education you have. What happened?
Are they sending condolence hearts, or are they sending happy hearts? I want to know.
Happy hearts. Happy hearts.
You know, this side of me is alive. It's this side that's really dead.
Well, that's because that's the side that droops a little.
No, you know what happened is because I've been in this quarantine for so long, and like I don't get out of bed anymore. Like oh, you know.
So how are you doing, Crystal? How are you during all of this?
You know what? I have to tell you something. I thought to myself, a year ago, I was in Provincetown. I was working with Dougie at the West End Salon, and I was living my life and having a great time. And I actually lived in the crow's nest of the Prince Albert. I was like a addict, and every day at 4 o'clock I would go home after working at the salon, and I would run in and go upstairs and change and come into a new outfit. 32 outfits, I'll mind you, every day a different outfit.
Oh,
it was like a postcard every week from a family as seen on vacation, you know. And and I look at it now and I go, okay, yeah, I'm here. I'm in Florida. I love it. But it really made me think about the whole freedom thing and being like, I used to fight with myself to stay in the house. I mean, my bedroom looks like a Howard Johnson because nobody stays long enough to like get to know it. So I just wanted to be like very generic. So I was always out and about and seeing people and stuff, and not being able to do that through this whole thing has really, it's made me love myself. And I went on my first date yesterday. She's dating, and
wait a minute. How are you dating in social distancing?
My phone in my hands. I have 5 women watching me, and my hands. It is so much fun.
Wait a minute. So you went on a date like through the phone?
Yeah. MyBidster.com will get you off, honey. Don't you worry.
Bitch, that's like one of those eHarmony commercials. Like you see them, and that guy asked that girl out on a date on the rooftop, and then he met her in a big bubble, and he tried to bring her flowers, but he had the flowers inside the bubble, so he couldn't give them to her. Like, bitch, that's everything. Come on, you were like,
I have to pay a subscription every month, just like some people have to go get a pill every month.
Let's say hello to a couple people in here. John Capo, KK Lavelle. Hello, Miss KK. How are you?
Hi.
Daniel Markovich, my boyfriend. Lane Blackwell, Roger Panter. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? I apologize if I cannot see you. That just means that you are you're here.
They can
but
see
I
you,
just
honey.
for
They
some
can see
cannot
you.
see. Yeah, that's all that matters is you can see me. Bitch, after this quarantine, they're gonna be able to see me come from like 10 miles away. My ass is getting bigger and bigger. Listen, my drag, she is not fitting. I'm like, ooh, thank God I ain't got a pad up on here because she's just sitting here. I'm like, I am squeezed into this. Squeezed into it. But, so Crystal,
well,
so
I have a whole bodysuit tonight with my, I didn't think your audience would really appreciate this, but maybe they will. I mean, I'm like in the jungle right now.
Oh, they will completely appreciate a good set of tits.
I'm really loving the skin I'm in.
Exactly. So tell me, what made you get into drag?
Oh, what made me get into drag? Well, I mean,
I'm sorry if I hit my game.
Were you talking about me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you know, I started doing this when I was probably 16 or 17. The first time I ever did it, my sister's husband came home and was like, there was this really hot girl that was at the school at the dance or whatever. And my sister goes, that was my brother, you know? And it was really because it was the only way. I grew up in northern Maine. I had less than 3,000 people in my hometown. The graduating class that I grew up in had 24 people, and 3 of them had Mickey Mouse signed their diploma. So that'll tell you. It was my way of expressing myself artistically and also feeling more comfortable in who I am. That's how I started it. And then, I mean, my drag career has had such a small town little boy from Maine that grows up to be this bougie, you know, woman. I mean, you know, I did it. I remember the late and great, God bless her soul, Sharon Madonna, Barbara Liza, Bobby Callahan. She was the first post-op trans woman in the state of Maine. And she was my first drag mother, to be honest with you. She was sitting in my apartment when I was living in Portland, Maine. I was going to hair school and I was looking at Trade Secrets, and she worked across from me at the Regis, and I was banging the GNC, like hot muscle boy that worked there, and he would stand there and go, let's go get some ice cream. And I'm like, okay, I'll take a swirly with sprinkles. You know, one of those things.
Hey, everybody loves a good sprinkle.
I mean, why not? They're colorful. I mean, please, I couldn't fake this if I tried. Just add some more color. I'll act it out.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, and she was the first one that really believed in me, I guess, and she pushed me out there. And I think I go down in history as the only person that ever got into drag that she painted, that I got to use my own eyebrows. And all those girls out there that know what I'm talking about right now, that is a bitch. Like, you walk around like a crazy person when you're not in drag with no brows. And if you're somewhere that you have to hide or conceal it, back then, it was like, oh my God, what do I do? I got no eyebrows. I got to know I'm a drag queen.
Right.
And, you know, over the years, I think I've spent, and I think that this is why we really wanted to talk about this today, was about there are so many different forms of drag, and I want everybody to know it's an illusion. Who are these people? I don't know, you know? But like RuPaul said, you get up in the morning, and everything else is drag.
Yeah.
And that's true.
You wake up, we're born naked, and the rest is drag.
Right. And so, you know, I can only imagine what some of these queens have spent. I know I spent $80,000 on a procedure and came out on food stamps, but I mean, that's the way it goes. You know, you get some, you win some, you lose some. That's what happens. But I got Social Security, honey.
Bitch, I'm done with you. I'm done.
Listen, after all the non-disclosures I've had to sign, that's the best I could say.
That's it, right. I know that you're told me, you're like, I can't talk about a lot of stuff, but you know, we could talk about
I don't want to have to delete this profile. It took too long to recreate.
I am dying. I am living. I am loving everything.
I have to tell you that before we go any further.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. You know, I just celebrated the big 4-0.
Yes.
So now I get to go back. 40 years I lived. I didn't even think I'd make it till 30. I did so much ketamine in my 20s. I was like, I'll never live to 30, you know? But now it takes like tranquilizer, horse, and elephant to put me down. But that's okay. I want to say thank you. I understood exactly where you were coming from, that you couldn't make it for the pool party. I appreciate you. I love you. I think that you and your husband have one of the most beautiful, like, living love stories. I like watching it. It's almost like reading porn for me that's not XXX. It's like what I used to read. Like, you know, I'd go to the grocery store and pick up the Men's Fitness. It's kind of hot. You know, that's what I think. So I love you guys. We will get together finally someday.
Oh, we absolutely will. Yeah, and like I had said, like I was dealing with those horrible allergies from that dust storm
over there,
thing.
bro. It's like your business. Keep it over there.
Yeah, and like I was hacking and blowing my nose, and I was like, I don't know what this is. And considering that I'm in the salon, I was like, even though I wear my mask, my clients wear their masks and stuff like that, I was like, I don't know what I like literally like one dust particle could fly out by my face, and I'm like, ugh, you know. So I have horrible allergies, horrible.
I have allergies, like horrible allergies to like basic people. Like, I swear to God, I can't handle. I have a shirt that says I'm allergic to basic people. I really am.
That's great. We have Kyle Weeder up in or whatever. Hi, babe. How are you? Since you're gonna be talking, can you close the door for me? He just got back from the gym, so I had the door open. And now,
is this the husband?
Yeah. Have you ever? You've met him.
No, I know who the husband is. Like, this is like a birthday present for me. Oh, Daddy.
Do you want him to take his shirt off and flex for you?
Show that audience what we have and they don't.
Right? If you're going to be in here on that, lower it. Close the door for me. Thanks.
Oh, you're so lucky. I love you.
Thank you. Kyle Witter's in here. He says, "What's up, ladies? What's up?"
Hi, Kyle.
So awesome. So hello, Ricky Hallman. How are you doing? Hello, Dwayne Quintana. How are you, Lindsay Gottschall? How are you doing today on this fabulous Monday? So we are already 45 minutes in and we have not got over. We've just been shooting the shit. Well, the first 30 minutes was me, really.
Actually, I thought the first part was really good. You touched on it and you really gave a shout out to everybody. So the rest is just money and what they spend and what they do, you know?
Exactly. So like the cost of drag. Let's first start financial. Like what would I did a question on my personal Facebook page. I was like, what would you say A, B, C, what I do? A, B, C, D, E, I think. You know, everything from a walk around to a performance number to a pageant to a local pageant, stuff like that. Hello, Shauna Wild. How are you?
Oh, hi, Shauna.
Congratulations on your name change. I'm so excited.
Yeah, she is a woman.
Yes, she is. And also Cody Beasley, how are you? Congratulations, Shauna. If everybody could please give Shauna a bunch of hearts right now. A bunch of hearts. Say congratulations to Shauna. Her driver's license says who the fuck she was and is and how she is.
She's fabulous.
Congratulations, Shauna. But, you know, and so basically, you know, the minimum of a walk around was anywhere from $50 to $100. That's just a walk around. That's literally to just walk through the bar.
Girl, I did $11,000 on the last pageant I did, and I lost 4.
Yeah, I mean, like, well, girl, you're ruining my flow here because I was going to get to pageantry.
Oh, okay. I thought we were like talking about I thought she had lost that money. You know me.
No. So like a simple walk around is $50 to $100. A performance number, just like literally going to the bar and doing a gig, is, I mean, I would say on an average for me, costume, wig, and I'm a prop queen. I use props. I'm all about props, like throwing pancakes into the audience that the man, you know, cooked the night before and stuff like that. Hello, Daniel Lago. How are you?
I use people that I'm in litigation.
But I would say like that cost me probably almost $250 right there, just for that performance number. You know, because
we're not talking about what you walk in with. We're not talking about what you walk out with.
Right. I'm just talking about that one number that I did between hair to outfit. You know, I'm not talking about makeup. I'm not talking about nails. I'm talking about the outfit, the hair, the props, the stuff that I use was about $250. Because I hardly ever repeat a number, and all of my numbers.
I was told by the drag queens up in the north,
So,
you know, and all of them, that if you were ever seen, Bonesy, that was his name, Bonesy. He works at the MB in Worcester, Massachusetts, second gay-owned and operated business and bar in the United States. Bonesy said if they ever see you in the same outfit twice, you're done.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've done a walk-in the same outfit, but I've hardly ever performed the same number, ever. That's why I'm purging half my drag, because I'm like, I wore this once a couple years ago. I don't know if I'm wearing it again. Plus, I'm too fat now to fit in it.
Well, I could call me and another girl. We could borrow your outfits and do like Siamese twins.
It's your size like that. You can just sit underneath my shoulder. Hello, dear Darcel Stevens. How are you? So now on to pageants. Speak about the cost of your pageant and like the one that you won. How much would you say that you spent?
Honestly, you know what? This is the thing about pageants, and I'll tell you that I didn't spend a lot on the one that I won. You know, Miss Florida Trans Pass. I did not spend a lot. It was one of those things that I just kind of threw it together and I did it. The one I did spend, and this is the thing about pageants, is unless they're rigged, and we're not going to get into the shade because you know that there are many, many organizations and many like whole, what do they call them? Families or something?
Clicks.
Well, they're clicky or they're or you know, what do they call them? I don't know what they are. They sound so professional when they say that as they're taking your money and screwing you. Okay?
Right.
It's like, why don't you take some Land O'Lakes and butter it up while you screw me? Okay.
Right. Exactly.
You know, I remember I did one in New York where I spent $11,000. Now we're talking an evening gown. You want to get on that stage and you want to be taken serious, you're spending $4,000 and $5,000 sometimes. And we're talking, these bitches do not come and they do not play.
Correct.
Okay.
Well,
so you've got designers out there. You've got wig makers. Wigs $225, honey. We're on the low.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Okay? So pageants and what do you get when you win? Yes, you get a title. You get bookings. But what about all the other girls that got slaughtered on the way up?
Right.
You know, we're all supposed to be a family. We're all supposed to be a community. But at the end of the day, honey, we're all the survival of the fittest. But that shit can be real shady and really hard. Really
100%. And like that's one thing that I cannot stand is like when I see designers out there. And again, we're not going to name anybody. We're not going to.
Oh no, honey! You want to name? Just call me directly. I'll tell you.
Exactly. But like people that do hair designs or costume designs or even just selling their stuff, their jewelries or whatever, and they get paid, and then people don't send their stuff. That's we work for that money. Day job, if you want to say, or sometimes just being an entertainer.
My nighttime job pays for that, honey. We ain't go there. Okay, you know some of these girls are paying for it that way, and that's the truth.
Oh yeah, exactly. And then they're out that money, and it's like that money, especially right now in these days, that money could have put the lights on, but they were hoping for the gig. I'm going to go back to on YouTube. There's a show called My House, and it's about the balls. The legendary balls. And there was an episode where a girl went there and she slayed the house down. She was voguing and she won. And she was like, "Oh, I can finally pay my cell phone bill." Like
that's the reality, though. That I didn't. I'm going to stand here right now and I'm not going to scream. I know that everything in the world is so upside down and everything. And I have empathy. I have sympathy, and I bleed with the rest of everybody else that's bleeding right now in this country.
Oh, yeah.
Our community. I bleed red just like everybody else.
Right.
But that is the sad reality of what some of these communities and these cultures are really facing, and nobody wants to talk about it, is that, yeah, we'll spend $225 for a wig, okay? We'll spend $5,000 for a dress. Mm-hmm. But some of these bitches, and I say bitches with all due respect, can't pay cell phone bills, are living out of their cars, are living out of their homes. Mm-hmm. because they've come down a long, hard road. I mean, a real long, hard road. And you know what? I may sit here right now today, and I ain't going to lie, and I don't want this to sound wrong, but what I want to sound is the realness of it. I can sit here in Louis Vuitton loafers, all right?
Right.
They were a gift.
Yeah.
Because somebody cared about me at a point in my life enough to give me a pair of Louis loafers.
Mm-hmm.
But I've struggled, and I know they're out there struggling. And my biggest thing is, and I'll tell you what, and I say this right now, and you've seen it, and anybody that's been on my Facebook has seen it. If you want to treat these people dirty, and you want to be out there, and you want to be taking people's good, hard-earned money, and you don't want to produce it, you don't want me on you. I'll be like the bounty hunter's wife, okay?
Exactly. Well, and that's what I don't understand. Like, you know, when people come for entertainers, either taking their money and not saying their stuff, or they come at them about their look or whatever. It's like,
no,
well,
there's three things that you will never be able to clock anybody for. It's talent. You can't clock somebody's talent. That's their talent.
That's their talent.
You cannot clock anybody for class. Either you have it or you don't.
Well, and you might even have class, and you just might have a different type of class.
Right, yeah. But you can't clock somebody for that. That's who they are. And
Right.
The other thing is integrity. Integrity, either you have it or you don't.
That's true.
The rest of it, honey, you can sit there all day and you can read and read and read and read. The truth is the truth. It hurts a lot of people, but it needs to be said sometimes.
It does. It does. Well, and that's going to go into the subject of clicks. You know, I know a lot of entertainers that are
It's like crown stealers.
like, well, but the thing about it is the booking that they get. I sit there and I'm like, I've seen you do that same number 100 times, or I've seen you, like, I don't see you promoting. I don't see you supporting the venue unless you're booked.
Or unless you're paid to be there, honey. They were in quarantine for 3 months, and I went out for 2 weeks, and I saw the same numbers I'd seen 6 times. I went and lived in Clearwater for 6 months.
Well,
right?
So here's my defense on that. I'm going to defend that in the sense of, because of the quarantine, if it was the same look, if it was the same outfits, wigs, I'm going to say, yes, you probably did, because
okay. Yeah, I can go.
But if it was the same song, bitch, you had 4 months to 3-4 months.
Girl, I've seen your talent comedy from Miss Comedy Queen 3 times. I've lived in Florida for 6 months. That's not appropriate. I'm sorry, especially on opening night. If you're a house queen, go home.
Yeah.
Go home. I will not mirror you. Okay, again, one more time. I'll give a real whip out.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just kind of, it's like one of those things, like, you know, people get booked, and I'm like, but why did they get booked? You know, and I think it's just, it goes back to the clicks. It's who you know and who you blow.
And wait, I don't want to get clocked. Like, I'm not booked because I don't want to be, honey.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make that very clear. I will go out and I will support even girls that I don't like. I will support when I'm at a show. Okay.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. If I don't like you, you are getting a minimum of $5 from me. If I don't like you, you're getting a minimum of $5. Because
listen, I cash in 60. Okay, and if there's 3 girls, you're each gonna get 20.
Right. Well, I mean,
I'll make you
20. Depending on how many numbers, you know. Then let's talk about the gigs. The gigs. I feel that the gigs that get booked are so.
Don't go there.
They're so based on what
who you know,
but it's also based on what the establishment thinks the crowd wants versus asking the crowd what they want.
Well, I think there's 2 things we need to look at that. Yes, they think there's a delusion in everybody's perception of what reality is because it's your own reality.
Mm-hmm.
And when those get blended. But the other thing is also a lot of the gigs and the bookings happen because you have a very small community that in each area. And when a queen comes into the building, and we were just having this conversation the other night. I shout out to Monica Moore. I mean, that bitch can win anything and travels. And she said it the best. She said, if you're a queen that's going to come into an establishment, into a club, and you're going to be either a drama queen or the owners of that business, they're going to think that you're going to cause drama. They don't want you there.
Correct.
But here's the flip side of that. It only takes one queen on Grindr to piss another queen off, and then, my God, they start a goddamn snowballed fucking attack against you. Excuse me, like, I'm so sorry, I'm such a they start a snowballed attack against you, and once you get attacked or blackballed, that's what happens.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think that's just that's being as real as I can be.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. John Capo says the establishment and the show director is what, it's basically kind of like who books. So if you look at like the establishment and the show director, you see who gets booked. And here's my thing. Like, I'm not downing anybody that has the gigs. I'm not downing.
If you got a gig, honey, and that's what you do it.
I am happy for you. I am proud of you. Especially if that is your main source of income. Absolutely, bitch. Gig it up, gig it up, gig it up, gig it up, gig it up. My problem is people that get the gigs that don't support establishments unless they are paid to be there. That is what I agree with. Because I know a lot. And there is one.
I have to cough, and I don't want to pass any germs onto anyone.
Wear your mask.
How
are you, Wade? How are you? I am blessed. Oh, I love that.
Brock Parks or Brooklyn Alexander.
Alexander?
Yeah, she's the one who made these. Her and her husband, Sydney, or Harmony Daniels.
Wade says we both look fabulous.
Yeah, I think she sells them for like $20.
Wade says we both look fab. Thanks, Wade. Thanks. But I think that what the quarantine shut down, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to call it, I think this is the perfect time for venues to sit back, and of course you're gonna have your house queens, of course, absolutely, you're gonna have your house queens, your show directors, yes, but the people that are invited in, they need to step back and they need to literally be looking at people's aesthetics. They need to be looking at people's social media presentation, and then you need to be looking at how they have conducted themselves in the past, the present, and what have it, because if the past and the present are the same, the future is going to be the same as the past and the present, okay? Because the fact that it comes down to is, psychologically right now, all of us have the ability to sit there and be on social media, okay? And there's a lot of despair right now. We talked about this last week about comparing despair with Mirren Pinder. There's a lot of despair right now. And so what that's doing is that's creating a lot of anger in a lot of people. And, let's just say that our entertainment industry, there's a lot of anger that we don't talk about, because of the fact that we kind of take it onto ourselves. We take it onto ourselves because entertaining is a mental fuck, honestly. But if you watch people's social media, you will see a lot of true colors. A lot of true colors. And I think, that's one thing that, as a hairdresser and the company that I'm an artist for, that was one of the things. We are going to be watching your social media during all of this because we need to make sure that when we come back, that the hair shows that you're booked for, you have not pissed people off. So this is the time for these nightclubs and these restaurants and all of this other stuff to be doing that. And then the ones that are open, they need to make sure that their entertainment is conducting themselves safely, and also the guests are conducting themselves safely. I will be honest with you, when we had a month of the clubs being open, month and a half, whatever, I did not go to any. I wanted to. I missed I miss seeing my girls twirl and all of that stuff. I miss a good cocktail. I miss it. I really miss it. which
I miss a good bar hookup. I'm not gonna lie.
well, my bar hookup, that's when my man goes to the other side of the bar and I look at him and I'm like, whoa.
Yes, daddy.
Yeah. You know, it's like, I don't know you. Do you know me? No, I don't know you. Meet in the bathroom.
That's when I come to you and I go, do you want to get a beer?
Exactly. But, you know, I didn't go out because, and I miss all that, but I didn't go out because of fear. You know, because honestly, like, here's the thing: self-employed. If I get sick, bitch, I'm fucked. I don't have PTO. I don't have PTO, and I sure as hell am not getting any unemployment or any assistance because of my self-employment. But you know, going back to the fact of, you know, right now, I think is important for all of the clubs and everything like that to look at their entertainment and also to start making it more diverse so that when the opens come back, we are in a revolution right now with Black Lives Matter movement, which is a huge movement that needed to happen years ago. So we need to see more of persons of color. And I'm talking about not just the Black community, I'm talking about the Asian community, the Latin community, well, Filipino is Asian. But
honey, it's it's everyone. It really
we
is.
need to see more of an inclusion of all different types of culture and all different types of representation. Because if we do not do this within our own community, it's not going to happen on the outside. And drag queens being the pioneer of every single type of fundraiser, pride, a talk show, whatever, if we are the pioneers of making shit happen within our community, we are the ones that are going out and raising money for HIV or raising money for cancer or, you know, somebody, you know, whatever. We need to also be the pioneers that make change within our community to bring in all forms of art, all race representation, all culture representation. Because I'll tell you right now, when a lot of times when I am cleaning, I have Middle Eastern music on because I love it.
What? Repeat that. I've got one ear that doesn't work. What'd you say?
When I'm cleaning my house, I usually most of the time have Middle Eastern music on, like Arabic.
Yeah.
It makes me just feel good about myself. And I would love to see a bitch come out there and do a straight up performance, belly dancing, you know, drag. Like, I would
open
love
up the parameters, instead of it being so, you know, this is the time that I think everybody really needs to become creative. I have to touch upon the fact that you said, you know, this is the time that companies are really watching what people's social medias are doing. Like, together, everyone achieves more.
Right.
Together, everyone achieves more.
Correct.
And, you know, if you put my comedic kind of like sick humor on it, like I got up and I sat on a toilet and shit, just like everybody else that's watching this, just like you did today. Okay. We all do. We all get up, we put our feet on the floor, we go to the bathroom. Unless you found some other way to do it.
I have a squatty potty.
Well, I love those. Actually, I have one. I'm not gonna lie. Everybody.
Girl, and she comes flying out like not even a push. I was like,
well, that's because I'm 50 and I've had my construction going up there. But yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, I think I'm going to circle it back for me anyways. I can't believe we've been on here over an hour, but I
know, I'm about to end it. So.
I know, but I mean, for me, I'm going to stand up for what's right always. I'm going to support all of those that support me. I'm going to respect the people that respect me, and what you give is what you get. It's a give and take, baby. It's a give and take.
100%.
You don't have to like me. I don't have to like you. My drag is my drag. Your drag is your drag. I mean, put a beard on me and say my name is Bearonce Bear or Bear Bearonce or Mariah Bear. Like, I mean, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you're all in it for the same reason.
Exactly.
You're all in it to get attention. Because if you weren't, you wouldn't be doing it.
Don't come for my spotlight. Don't come for my spotlight.
My new grinder name is Shine, by the way. Anybody wants
to? Yes. Hello, Heather Beckwith. How are you? Hello. That is, I believe it's Thomas Ethan Jr.'s sister. I believe that's his sister. Thank you for joining us. We are coming to the end Justin Fiscus, how are you? Justin and I used to do CrossFit together. He's a cute little twinky little compact guy.
Is he single?
I don't know. Justin, are you single and are you looking to date a 40-year-old non-bearded drag queen?
Oh, no, I'm asking for a friend.
Oh, she's asking for a friend, supposedly. Supposedly.
I told you, I met the man of my dreams last night, my date.
Heather says y'all are looking amazing. Thank you.
Oh,
see,
thank you, Heather.
See, this is our attention that we're getting. So Crystal, where can
I'm losing you.
Justin laughs.
I can hear you back.
Can you hear
I can hear you now.
Justin said, ha ha ha, laugh out loud. He's a cutie.
I bet he
And
is.
girl, let me tell you, that bitch can lift. Like, when we did CrossFit together, I'd be like, oh, okay, well, that's you.
I love in-air impulse. I really do.
And I think Justin, you're a nurse, right? Don't you own your nursing company, something like that? Oh, look, we just spelled it. I swear, it's like people come onto my show and I try to pimp them out. I wish I look as fabulous. You always look fabulous, Justin. You always look fabulous. So, but Crystal, where can people find you, like on social media wise?
I mean, I'm like I said, I'm in the middle of litigation and non-disclosures and everything. But you're gonna find me. You're gonna be a friend of my friend, and it's JC, the letter JC, not Jesus Christ. I do not want to get hit with lightning. Okay, those are my initials. If you want to see my birth certificate, you will have to marry me. It's JC Ray. It's JC Ray, and Ray is REA from Tennessee, Bristol, Tennessee.
An old friend of mine's last name was Ray, spelled the exact same way.
Well, if I told you what my birth name was, you'd laugh at me and tell me to go back to the Appalachian Trail.
Is it like Judea or something like that?
I'll tell you, because I'm proud of it. It's my heritage, and I think that everybody in this day and age should be proud of our history and our heritage.
Why?
And it's I was born Jerry Ray Rust. If I took my wig off right now, you wouldn't believe it.
Did you used to eat possum for dinner?
Do I what?
Did you used to eat possum for dinner with a name like that, bitch?
Oh, no, we loved our rabbit stew.
Joseph Martinez says, I know you, but I'm loving this. Oh, I don't know you both, but I'm loving this. Well, thank you, Joseph Martinez. Thank you. Oh, he's handsome.
I know. I was like, oh, my God, that looks like trade.
Girl, he's handsome.
I know. He's so cute.
Joseph, you can actually catch Sass and Science. I have guest stars. This is Crystal Michael. She is our guest star on here. This week we are talking about Life is a Drag. Every week at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, streaming from Sass and Science page on Facebook and also on YouTube at Sass and Science, which if you need to see it, you can actually look up these right here. And right there at Sass and Science, it's with the little Empress logo thingy. You can like and subscribe, like and follow. Do all four of those things, and you will be blessed. And every week we do an episode discussing a different subject. If you want to catch up on all of the past subjects, you can go onto YouTube and you can watch all of them all the way from April 9th. So, Crystal, thank you so much. It is an hour and 10 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and kick you out of here like the good old slut that you are. Like,
yes,
you've been rode hard, and now you're going to be put up wet.
I love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Everybody, please give a bunch of hearts for our friend Crystal Michaels. She is a stunning entertainer. She is just a beautiful person. She has a heart of gold. You can catch my YouTube. Main exclusive. Are you a hairdresser? Are you a hairdresser? I'm going over there right now. Main exclusive. Wait, I think I spelled that wrong. Main, I did spell it wrong. Are you a hairdresser, Joseph? Are you a hairdresser with that word main? I'm wondering. Oh, he's a VJ. Oh, hello, Dolly Day. Loving JC and JC Crystal. Yes. Love JC/Crystal. Love, 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 love Dolly. Thank you so much for saying that. But again, I am Bearonce Bear. I am Sass and Science. Every week we talk about subjects, and Lord knows what the hell we're going to talk about. We've talked about everything from are your pipes clean, talk about basically if you're a bottom, to how to wear your mask properly. We've talked about the LGBTQ+. We've talked about kink. I mean, we've covered everything. And we have so much more to go. Again, if you are not following us, follow us on Facebook at Sass and Science. Like and follow on YouTube. Like and subscribe. Also hit that bell for the notification at Sass and Science as well. If you did not see it 2 weeks ago, I was wearing this adorable custom-made Bearonce hat. Yes, honey, she sits on top of the head. But they were done by a company called foampartyhats.com. You do not have to order a Bearonce Bear hat. You can actually go on there though, but they have a lot of like party stuff. And especially, I know like everybody's in shutdown and stuff like that. But if you want to have like some new things for when everything starts opening, you can go on over foampartyhats.com, put in the code Bearonce at the end, and you will receive 10% off. It is only the first 20 orders. And they have, I think, literally like 74 pages of stuff that you can choose from. And they do custom orders as well. They are phenomenal. So head on over there. And let's tease more of Crystal. You are lovely. We are needing more Crystal. Well, Dolly Day, honey, we are coming to the end. We are coming to the end. This is only an hour episode, and we are at an hour and 12. But what I'm going to do for you for 30 seconds, she's just going to come onto the stream and smile. So, Crystal, just give us a smile for 20 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. She's done. So, anyways, thank you so much for joining us this week again on Sass and Science. I am Bearonce Bear. You can catch us every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, like I said, here on Facebook and also on YouTube. I implore you and I ask you, please, to remain social distant, continue to wear a mask, wash your hands, because especially here in Florida, our numbers are getting ridiculous. And we have a shithead of a governor that isn't doing anything about it. So please, we have to take care of each other. If we cannot have our ones in charge taking care of us, we have to take care of each other. And also remember, fight for what is correct, fight for what is right. And that is every human being on this earth has the right to live and breathe a free life. And right now we are in a movement, and that is the Black Lives Matter movement. And right now, every single one of you has the power to get out there and make it to where people of color, the LGBTQ plus community continues to have the rights that we are entitled to by voting. So make sure you are registered to vote. Make sure that you get our country back on the correct track that we were 5 years ago. Right, 1, 2, 3, 5 years, right? 4 years. This is the 4th year, I think. So 4, 5. You get what I'm saying. Basically, when Obama was in office, we want our country back. So yes, get out there, get yourselves registered to vote if you're not. Go vote. And we might not have the best candidate, but if we are stuck with this person for another 4 years, can you imagine what is going to happen? Because if we've been fucked up for the past 4 years, just saying. So anyways, again, I'm Bearonce Bear. I'm out of here. Have a blessed Monday evening. Be kind to one another. Be loving to one another. And when the bars open, make sure you tip your drag queens. It's expensive to do this. It really is. Just tip us, I don't know, just the tip. Bye. Looking for the commercial for next week. Bye.